awakenings and my awakening in general. When I first awakened, it was really intense, really cracked wide open, like instantly, and all of my channels, all of my chakras were wide open. It was a little way too much at the time when I look back at it. But this was just to show me that there's something else to life. There is such thing as awakening. There is such thing as spirit. There is such thing as energy, and there is all kinds of stuff. And when I awakened, it was pretty crazy, and I always wanted to know. I was kind of getting curious about extraterrestrials, and I was looking at Egyptian history and all kinds of things, reading these books, and I was like, well, I think I'm definitely an extraterrestrial or an ET incarnated here. And that was really cool for me to figure it out. And I did ask a psychic at the time, I think, and I was like, what am I? You know what I am? And she was like, that's for you to find out. And I actually kind of commend her for that, because that was really cool for me to find it out myself. Not that it's bad being told what kind of ET you are, but I thought it was pretty awesome that I was able to find this out. And when and I remember I was having a hard time breathing because I was so open at the time, and I remember the birds were helping me like breathe, and they were like a metronome almost, kind of helping me breathe, soothing my anxiety, and my guides were probably working with them and stuff. And one time I was walking around the block, and these birds all swirled around me in like a frenzy. It was so cool. I've never seen anything like it. It was like a tornado. And I was like, maybe there's something with these like blue avian type of ETs. Maybe there's something. I was really curious. And I think that night or the night after, there were these ETs that took me to a different planet and their spaceship or something. It was super fast, like instant. The space travel was. It was like, I guess through my astral body. I don't know what you call it. And I went to that planet or wherever it was, and I saw this bird being behind this piece of glass. All these people were watching it like an exhibit almost, and it was just walking around in this like exhibit around this foliage and stuff. And it was a blue avian, I guess, but this one was like almost kind of like 5 feet tall or something, 5 or 6 feet tall. It was kind of bent over. It was like half human, half bird being. It was beautiful, all these blue feathers, and I think like a yellow or orange beak, I can't remember. And it had beautiful eyes, and it looked very intelligent, and it communicated telepathically. And when I looked at it, it like sent me like this. I looked at it, and it looked at me, and we recognized each other's souls almost, like it resonated, and it was like a synchronicity, and we saw like so much love between each other. And then right after that, I was sent back to my other planet, and it was a pretty cool experience. So, and then I know I've been lots of different types of bird beings, and there's not just one type. I've been these red avian-like beings, these blue ones, these multicolored ones that are like ancient, and I've seen people talk about the ones that are fully humanoid, that look like almost kind of human. They stand up completely upright, and they're like 9th to 12th dimensional or something crazy something. But I haven't been one of those. They do help me from time to time. But the type that I've been, they are just 4th dimensional, and they are pretty advanced, and they communicate telepathically and with images in their sight, and they have very good sight and other things. And the avian beings that are from different planets and galaxies, they're very different than the bird beings that are here. Much more advanced, which is pretty awesome. And I kept incarnating as these bird beings over and over again. I don't know, like 1,500 times or so. And I was kind of getting in a cycle, like a loop. I was like, all right, I've already been through these bodies. I wasn't progressing as a soul very fast. So I was like, oh, I'm going to come into the human experience and experience the human experience because it's something totally different. Like coming from a blue avian body to going into a human form is totally different types of bodies, and it's kind of a shock to the system. It's even a shock to my system, even in this lifetime. That's how, even though I've been on Earth for a few hundred lifetimes, it's still a shock because they're all happening at the same time, like give or take. But I think that's what's really cool. And I do experience the blue avians that I was talking about, that are the humanoid ones, that are like 9th to 12th, 13th dimensional, maybe. They help open my channels, and they come and help open my channels. And what they do is they help oversee a lot of the souls that were blue avians or bird beings that were incarnate here on Earth. They help them out. And they oversee those types of soul groups and things like that. But yeah, they're very intense, like, feeling. It's almost like these bird beings, when they come into the human body, it's like they're wanting to fly. Like they're wanting to fly. Like the energy is like that. It's very like intense, and they want to fly. And it's like almost like you're trapped in this human body. Like, I don't know what to do. I can't get out. I feel kind of claustrophobic, but that's what we signed up for, to experience something different. And that's why I signed up to be human, because it's a lot more opportunity for growth for me, and I'm really excited about it. But that's most of my experiences with Blue Avian. Actually, I have one more. So I was in a dream, and there were these beings talking in my house, and they were kind of like neutral type beings, and I wasn't holding as good of boundaries at the time. They were just like talking to me, and I was like, I don't really like this. I was like in my astral body, like in my house somewhere, and they were talking to me, and like I was like, I don't like this. I was like, get out. And then they took me outside of my house somewhere near in the neighborhood, and then I put up this hand signal in my astral body form, which is like the blue avian symbol, I guess. And like these blue avians helped me, and then I turned into this like bird almost type, and then I flew back home, and it was really cool. But that's the only other experience I think I have with the blue avians in the astral field, I guess. And yeah, that's what I resonate with the most, these blue avian or bird like avian beings, no matter what color. I resonate with that. Like, my higher self is part of that, and that's pretty cool. I have been Arcturian like not many times, and I didn't like it as much because it's much more logical. Like being a bird being, or like in human form, you're very in the moment. You're very, very like almost intensely in the moment. Like, I have ADHD and stuff like that. Like, I have to be in the moment, and it's a very singularly focused. Like, people that have been like Pleiadians and fairies and things, they can focus on so many different things at once. But blue avian people, more so, they like to focus on one thing, usually, like being in the moment at one time. And they can focus on a few things at once, but mostly it's like they can be really good at one thing in the moment, like a sport or something. It's very like cool.